Alright, it's been a while since I've made a video. Probably been over a month now since I've made any type of video on this channel. I took a bit of a hiatus because I didn't really feel like I had any content worth making. But in the process, I've still been collecting movies. I gotta move my movies right here. See, where I'm sitting right now is where I store my DVDs that are duplicates or that I just don't have space for. So I'm currently surrounded by a bunch of movies that I don't watch very often, so they're very dusty, and I can't just look at this. Speaking of Wanted, that's actually hilarious that I grabbed that. It's one of the movies that I upgraded, and one of the movies that I want to talk about today, because that's what I'm doing. I'm going to talk about my little haul of movies and a few video games that I've gotten over the last month and a bit since I made my last video, and Wanted's one of them. Don't love this movie by any means. Like, I wouldn't sit there and try and defend it if somebody, was ripping it apart. It's got a lot of flaws in it, but I like the concept of it, and I find James McAvoy very likable as a actor, and pretty much everything that I've seen him in, I just enjoy him. And I like the ending. So, check that out if you haven't seen it. Bridge to Terabithia. Now, I don't have too many movies from my childhood when it comes to kids' movies, and I'm trying to collect the ones now that meant a lot to me as a child, and this is one of them that, this doesn't make you cry. I don't know what is wrong with you. Like, this is one of the saddest movies of my generation, of my childhood, and just even watching it now, it's just depressing. I love the first half of it when it's super positive and, they're both alive. But when she dies, spoilers, it becomes way too real. Patriots Day. I didn't mind this. I don't love it either, but I wanted to give it a second chance, and this was like $1 or $2, and I just figured, you know what, I don't hate it, and Mark Wahlberg's alright, and there are some decent performances in this, and it's pretty much that. Like, there was no real specific reason for why I got this, or the next movie on this list, Captain Phillips. I've seen it once. Didn't love Captain Phillips. I enjoyed it for what it was, obviously, and there's a lot of memes that came out of this. It's okay, it's alright. It's got its parts that are worth watching, but it's also like a 3-hour movie, almost 2.5 at least, and a lot of it is slow, so if you don't like that kind of film, you won't probably enjoy this. And from what I've heard, a lot of this is kind of stretched reality. It's not really what happened, so if you're one of those people that like true event stories that are really accurate, you probably won't love this, because a lot of stuff seemed to be stretched. Okay. So we've got Star Trek: The Undiscovered Country. Is that what this one? I don't know, because I'm new to this whole old Star Trek game. So I got this, and I have some other Star Treks to show after. But I'm trying to get into them, and I'm going to buy them individually, but this was $4 or $5, and I just figured, if I don't start buying these now, they'll probably just vanish off the face of the earth, and I'll feel stupid, because I know I'll somewhat enjoy these at least. I love old space adventures, and I like the Star Trek movies that I have seen. It's just I haven't seen a lot of them, so I figured, I'll grab the ones that I do see, and over time I'll end up collecting all of them. And I haven't seen this one yet. I'm sure it'll be alright. I've read online that it's okay. So we've got Wrath of Khan, The Search for Spock, and The Voyage Home in here. I've only seen The Wrath of Khan out of all of these. So I gotta get around to these Star Trek movies soon. I'm missing one in between this and the one that I have here. I don't remember exactly what it's called. I think it's Foreign Contact, maybe? I don't know. I'm missing one. And I like Wrath of Khan for what it was, but man, the expectations were so heavy. It's like Godfather 2. Like, it's not a bad movie, but the way people talk about it, you almost are expecting the best movie ever made, and so I was kind of let down when it wasn't that fantastic. Like, it was okay. It was alright, but I was expecting just a little bit more. And I'll get around to watching The Search for Spock. I keep pushing it off. I keep watching other things. I just keep finding other things that I'm interested more in at this particular moment. But I'm sure at some point I will grab these Star Trek movies, and I'll finally give them a true watch, and who knows, maybe I'll even like them. We've got Elysium with Matt Damon, and I like it. I'm not huge. I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm a huge fan of it, but it was kind of interesting. And Jodie Foster's really hateable in it. She did a really good job playing the villain, and the concept of this is really, really interesting. All the rich people just pretty much leave and go to this place, some spinning sphere up in space, and leave all the poor people to just destroy the Earth and make it just a complete and utter mess. And I really like that idea. And to get on this place, Elysium, you have to have a certain code and bar on your arm or whatever, and if you don't have it, you're not getting in. And I find it very, obviously you get what they're trying to get at. It's very concentration campish, but I enjoy just a lot of it. Matt Damon's always a nice watch. He's always a good actor for the most part. The Great Gatsby, it's not the best movie ever, but I still enjoy it. And this is rated PG. There's no way this movie's PG, man. Is it really? I felt like there was some stuff in this that definitely made it not PG, but I love some of the scenes where he's screaming in this. Tobey Maguire. He plays the same guy in every movie, and DiCaprio is so good in this. I don't know. I personally like this. I've seen a lot of people split on it, saying a lot of negative things and some positive. I guess it just depends really who you are and what your taste is in movies, and that basically goes for everything. It's very subjective. It's a very subjective thing. And, if you're a woman, I'm sure you'll love it because DiCaprio's dressed up in a suit the entire time. Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Now, if you've seen any of my videos before, you know I don't love this movie at all. And I basically bought this to force myself to rewatch it. Otherwise, I would never rewatch this again in my life. But I feel like I kind of have to at least give it a second attempt. If I don't, I'm almost letting myself down. But I just felt this was such a predictable front-to-back movie. I knew exactly what was going to happen. I had never watched anything about this. I didn't know anything that happened in this except for there was a couple really raunchy sex scenes, which I was shocked by a little bit. I enjoyed them. The girl, she's, what's her face? Rooney Mara. I just don't like her. There's something about that girl that I just don't like. And I call me crazy. I don't find her very attractive, but her character is bizarre, and it's what she's supposed to be, and I don't care about her character. And a lot of people online somehow identify with her character and like Daniel Craig in the movie, and I just don't like either of them. And the second that you know what's going on, it loses and I lost all interest. It's just every crime movie ever. It felt like I was watching a way worse version of Silence of the Lambs. So, to go from hating that, to defending my opinion on Suicide Squad it's just brutal. I can't even try and defend my opinion on Suicide Squad, but I enjoy this in a fun aspect where, like, if I really want to just have a good time, like if I'm sick or something and I'm having a bad day mentally, it's like I'll just put Suicide Squad on and just laugh at some of the absurdity that's going on here, because it's so all over the place and bombastic. It feels like a big long music video, and I'm pretty sure it was edited by a music video company, which is why it feels so shitty. But there's certain aspects of it that I just really have always liked. I saw this at theaters like 3 times. I don't know why. There's just certain bad movies that I think we can all agree somehow you can't explain why you enjoy it, but you do, and that's one of these movies that, yep, I enjoy it. Now, okay, before you leave the video because you're angry at me, I don't blame you. I own the first Ghost Rider, and I've been trying to build my superhero comic book collection of movies. So that's really my only reason for buying this. I saw this once in theaters 12 years ago, and this came out in 2012. So 12 years ago. Haven't seen it since. And I'm probably not going to rush to rewatch it anytime soon, but I felt like this was for like $4. Why not add it to my collection? I just need to feel a little better about my comic book superheroes. I don't add enough superhero movies to my shelf, is what I'm saying. Or comic book. Because I add in stuff like Kingsman, because it's a comic book movie technically, or Flash Gordon, but I don't have enough superhero movies, so I add this, and I feel guilty, but it is what it is. It's too late now. Ice Age 1. I'm not too sure if I'm going to add any more. Probably Ice Age 2 and 3 if I'm going to do them, but I don't need 4 or 5. I just, it's a childhood classic. You know, I grew up watching this all the damn time. Those videos of me laughing my head off at Scrat, there's just something about that character that's always really been a hilarious calamity of comedy for me. There's just, it's basically Three Stooges, where everything he does, he fucks up, and it's perfection. You know, that's comedy to me, is constant fuck-ups and ruining everyone's day without even realizing it, and that's what this fucking squirrel does. I think he ends the world in one of the movies. So that alone makes me want to just watch this again, that opening scene where he destroys everything. Then you've got Manny, and you've got Sid, and all these memorable characters. This is up there with, like, Shrek and Toy Story and those types of movies for me. I could truly say this is one of the best animated movies for me. You know, I've always identified with these characters. I don't love this cover, though, I'll be honest. I need something more than just that, but not gonna get too picky with it. Killing Them Softly. There is a scene in this where Ray Liotta gets beaten up that might be the most realistic beat-down scene you will ever see in film history. It's hard to watch. I don't say that very often about scenes where, you know, there's a beating involved or killing, because you see it so much in a movie that it just becomes every day, basically. It becomes a normal day thing. But with this, it was like, oh my God. Every punch felt real. They, you know, throwing up when they punch him in the stomach. It's fucked. And Brad Pitt's really good in this. I really enjoy this. I need to rewatch it, though, because my brain was so all over the place watching this. The story has just eluded me, to be honest. But really enjoyed the visuals, and there was a lot of scenes that I can remember that I enjoyed. But, like, Ben Mendelsohn and the other guy robbing the bank at the beginning is hilarious. It's a good scene. There's a lot of stuff in this that I enjoy. It's just, sometimes when you watch movies every day, a new one every day, you just kind of forget, you know? You just kind of forget the overarching parts of movies, and that's the shitty part about watching a new movie every day. I've been trying to slow down so that doesn't happen as much, or rewatch movies that I have already kind of forgotten so I remember them more. Because there's no rush, you know? Like, what is the rush to watch a new movie every day? How am I trying to impress? You know, I've got my list that I add to every day that it makes me feel better about adding to, but I'd rather just remember the movies, you know? I'd rather just remember these, like, There Will Be Blood. I just watched this for the first time in my life 4 days ago, and I've thought about it pretty much nonstop since. It's a fucking amazing movie. I love Westerns, and I love the setting of an early 1900s, late 1800s Western vibe, and this is just perfect. You know, and you can feel where Red Dead 1 and 2 really got a lot of their inspirations for the way things feel. This it's perfect. Basically, there's a couple scenes that I don't like, but besides those scenes, it's utterly flawless. And the ending was amazing, and Daniel Day-Lewis stuns me every time I see him in a movie. I don't know how he does it. I don't know how he plays all these different people so differently. It's truly amazing. It's the definition of acting. The guy's a chameleon. Like, you sometimes forget you're watching an actor. You just think you're watching some guy in the 1800s that broke his leg and he has to crawl back to civilization. Who knows how long it took, but he did it because he was that desperate to make a name for himself and make money, and it was, I'm going to be rewatching that one a lot. No Country for Old Men. I see a lot of people say this is one of their favorite movies ever, and I can kind of understand why, but then again, there's just some shit that happens in this that I don't like. Like, spoilers, when Josh Brolin's character gets killed, I knew he was dead, but they don't tell you or really show you. They just kind of expect you to know by everybody's reaction that, yeah, he's dead. And it's kind of a stupid way to do it, you know, where you need to just kind of show us a little bit. Movies are about show, don't tell, and they don't really show you, and by people crying, who knows what they could be seeing. He could be shot and alive for all I know, and I just, that always bugged me when I watched this, was like, is he dead? And then the next scene, he's just, yeah, he's dead. So, I don't know, that bugs me. Obviously, Javier Bardem's performance is really damn good, but I wouldn't put it up in that upper echelon of it's a Western, technically. I wouldn't put it in my favorite. You know, I wouldn't put it in my top 10 or anything. It's a good movie, and I'm glad I own it, and I'm going to rewatch it again soon, because it's been about a year probably, but again, not one of my favorites. And the last Blu-ray is Good Will Hunting. This is still sealed. I just pulled it out of the plastic for this video. Really love this. You know, this is a movie I've watched 5, 6, 7 times. Ben Affleck, you can tell he was definitely the one doing the most of the writing in this. I remember they said he was the one riding the coattails of Matt Damon, and look whose career has gone on to be better when it comes to writing and directing. It's definitely not Matt Damon at all. You know, like Ben Affleck, Academy Award-winning director. I don't really care about the Academy when it comes to that kind of shit, giving awards, but I mean, he's proven. You know, Town, Argo, Gone Baby Gone. The guy's made 3 good movies at least. And Matt Damon, like I said, he's really enjoyable as an actor. I really like him in this. Really convincing performance. And Robin Williams steals this movie. I'm sure everybody would agree with that. This is like his best last performance before he died that I can think of. You know, he was fine in Night at the Museum. It was like a goofy kids movie. But this is the last great performance where he was fucking incredible, to be quite honest. There's a couple scenes in this that still make me tear up. And that's pretty much all I got to say, because I could go on for hours about this, but I got a number. How you like them apples? Now I just got a few video games to talk about, because I've been collecting 360 games, so I figure, I'll just talk about them. So, Forza Horizon. I'm going to have to buy another one of these. The disc is not in great condition, or I didn't know that when I bought it, and I don't know how a store is allowed to sell a game that's not in good condition, but they did. Really enjoy this game. Obviously, Horizon 2 and 3 really improved on this, and I personally like Horizon 4. A lot of people out there don't like it. Hate Horizon 5, but, 1, 2, 3, and 4, special place in my heart when it comes to racing video games. WWE 2K15. I bought this thinking this game was dog shit, and I mean, it's not the best wrestling game ever made, but the last-gen version is so vastly superior to the Xbox One next-gen version that is bare bones. A lot of the issues in the first year or so of those next-gen, last-gen games were they were putting a lot more content into these last-gen copies of the games rather than the new-gen, where they were just rushing to get these new games out. I can think of NHL 15 in particular, and so sports games in particular got hurt the most by this. They stripped out most of the stuff that people enjoyed and gave them the most bare-bones experience on next-gen just so they could say that we have it in the superior graphic and the better engine. So, go buy that. And really, it's to buy 2 copies because you want the better graphics, but at the same time, you want the better version, and that's what this is. This is the better version, and there's some good showcases in this. You've got the John Cena versus CM Punk showcase and the Triple H versus Shawn Michaels showcase, which I just beat the other day, and I had a lot of fun with both of them. I'm not a big fan of CM Punk or John Cena, but that throwback to the Attitude Era was a lot of fun. Grand Theft Auto 4, I already own this on Xbox One on the console, so it's not like a necessity, and I don't really have any reason to play it anytime soon. I've beaten it multiple times, but I just wanted to own it, because it's probably my favorite Grand Theft Auto. Yeah, it's, again, controversial. A lot of people like GTA 5 more, and I can agree with a lot of things that they say about it, but personally, I just enjoy the characters and story more of this game, and I just love the New York setting. It's cool. Liberty City setting. And I wanted to own it. I've always wanted to own this on disc. Even when I was a kid, I would beg my parents, and they would buy me every substitute possible before Grand Theft Auto. That's how I ended up playing Call of Duty, was they got me MW2 instead of this. And I ended up getting addicted to that, but it's a story for another day. And the last game that I purchased recently is Mortal Kombat vs. DC, which, as a kid, I really, really liked this game. But playing it now, I can see a lot of the flaws. Sluggish, slow. The gameplay is just really not that fun, to be honest. I don't really enjoy it. The new Mortal Kombat's, like Mortal Kombat X, maybe not the last 2 Mortal Kombats, Mortal Kombat X and 9 were kind of where it's at. This feels kind of like a bridge game where there's a lot of stuff that they used in this that kind of got improved on an MK9. And but the real draw was playing as these, DC characters, and then you end up getting Injustice 2 years later, which is just a straight up better game than this, and Injustice 2, which is, it's obviously better than both. But that is that, and you know, I hope to make more videos soon when I collect more stuff and I have more stuff to talk about. But that is that for this video, and I hope you guys have a good day, month, week, and year, and everything. And I will see you guys in the next video.